Jai Shri Mataji. Please bow down to the Shri Mataji. Raise your Kundalini and take the bandhan. Param Pujya Shri Mataji, you are Sakshat Sri Adishakti, Mother. Please grant us the permission to do the meditation at your lotus feet and please bless us thoughtlessly. Now please keep our right hand towards Mother Earth. Our complete attention is on center of left palm. Slowly move our attention towards the Sahasrara and from Sahasrara towards the center of right palm. Do it slowly 7 times. Now please keep our right hand on our lap and left hand towards the sky. Our complete attention is on center of right palm. Slowly move our attention towards the Sahasrara and from Sahasrara towards the center of left palm. Do it slowly 7 times. Now please keep our both the hands on our lap. Our complete attention is on central Muladhara chakra. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, you are Sakshat Sri Nirmal Ganesha. You are Sakshat Sri Kartikeya. Mother, please remove all the badhas, all the negativities from my Muladhara chakra and please awaken Sri Ganesh principle within us. Mother, please awaken Sri Ganesh principle within us. Now please keep our right hand on left side of our stomach below the abdomen. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, please give me pure knowledge about myself. Mother, please give me pure knowledge about myself. Now please keep our right hand on our central Nadi chakra. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, please awaken Lakshmi principle within us. Mother, please awaken Lakshmi principle within us. Now slowly rotate our right palm clockwise 7 times on our Sagar chakra on our stomach. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, please awaken Guru principle within us. Mother, please awaken Guru principle within us. Now please keep our right hand on left side of our heart. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, I am only pure spirit. Mother, I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this ego. I am only pure spirit. Mother, please come into my heart. Now please keep our right hand on left side of our neck. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, I am not guilty. Mother, I am not guilty. I am not guilty. Now please keep our right hand on our forehead. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, I have forgiven everyone, including myself. I have forgiven everyone. Now please keep our right hand on our Sahasrara and slowly rotate our right palm clockwise 7 times on our Sahasrara. Param Pujya Sri Mataji, you are Sakshat Sri Sahasrar Swamini. You are Sakshat Sri Adishakti. Mother, please awaken my Kundalini. Mother, please bless us thoughtlessly. Now please keep our both the hands on our lap. Our complete attention is on
The second, how to understand it, how to tackle the position of ego and put it in its own aspect. As you see in the map here, the yellow stuff that you see on top is the ego. The balloon that is yellow is the ego. You see down below, it starts from the Swadhisthana. This is the color of the bile within us. And this Swadhisthana chakra, which is for our creativity, is directly connected to that ego there. And when it starts rotating round the void and going to the various parts of the void, it collects all the problems of the void. Void is that green circle within us, where physically we have, in the void, we have uterus, we have kidney. It's a complete viscera. All the intestines, ascending, transverse, descending colon. Liver is the upper part of liver more. Then also pancreas and the spleen. So all the problems of these organs are collected by this chakra, which moves. It comes out of the Nabhi chakra and moves round and round and round and collects all the problems. It nourishes, gives power, the vital power to these organs, and also it generates necessary power for our creative action. It also collects the fat cells of the void, convert it into the proper cells for the brain for its use, for the grey matter. All this work it has to do one chakra. It manifests aortic plexus outside. On the physical level, we call it as aortic plexus, and it has got 6 subplexuses which look after all these organs. This is meant for our action. When we go into action, this chakra starts working. By the first power, which is on the left hand side, we desire. But by the second one, we go into action, and it's called as Kriya Shakti. Now, when this action starts within us, it produces the byproducts, or we can say all the problems of these organs, which are to be deposited somewhere, and they are all deposited in the brain as ego. All the problems that we have out of these, this creativity and the action of all these organs are to be counterbalanced. And as a counterbalance, the ego develops. For example, now I have to come to meet you all here. I had to get out of the house, I had to change, I had to drive, whatever it is. Then I came, I had to put in effort. I had to plan out how I'm going to talk to you. That I don't do normally, but I'm saying generally people do it. And I put in the effort to come in. Now, how am I to justify this, all this effort? What is the satisfaction that one gets out of doing this effort, this kriya, this action? We go on doing some action. And why should we do it? After all, action means, any activity means exertion, botheration, problems. The best is to sit at home and do nothing of the kind. But we do not do that. We take up challenges. We rush up to it. All this we do with our Kriya Shakti, with our right action. Because we do action, we have to have a satisfaction about it. As a reaction to that, ego develops. If we do not have the ego, we would not do anything. It's a fact. But ego is the one that rationalizes all our madness, the rat race we are running into. If we did not have the ego, we would not go into this nonsense. The more we try to rationalize our activities, the more ego develops to satisfy. All right, very good, very good. Now you are a successful man. See, you're a very successful man. You've got this, you've got that. Lots of misunderstandings creep in when we pamper our ego like this. Or I should say that when we are satisfied with our ego, that we really get lost. We get identified with our ego and not with ourselves. So if you do some work very well, supposing you have, say, made a beautiful poetry, or say, not piece of poetry, but say you have made a very good painting, then you would like people to appreciate. If they do not appreciate you, you think you have done nothing, though you have done a beautiful poem of a canvas. But still you will be so dissatisfied with yourself. Unless and until people appreciate you, they must garland you, they must say, oh, you are great, you are really unique, you are a genius. You know, many artists who created great art got trapped into this kind of misidentification. When they created some great art, the art could not give them satisfaction. They had to go to ego. And Mr. Ego would not be satisfied unless and until everybody says, yes, yes, you are very good, you have done this, you are a genius, you are this, you are that. That's how the ego develops then within us. But a situation can arise where even when we have done nothing, we want to take the credit. Then we call such a person egoistical, who says, I will do this, I have done this, I, then we call him an egoistical person. Because he gives words to his ego, that's why we call him egoistical. But all of us have got this Mr. Ego there sitting on our heads. When it starts bloating, the more successful you are, the worse it is. The more you indulge into planning and thinking, the worse it is. The balloon goes on, you see, pumped, as if you are pumping a balloon, you see. The more you pump, the more it becomes. And you can never realize that you are not that ego. Then you start feeling very nice about it. Because everybody says, oh, what a great man he is. The whole society develops on those lines. Today only I was discussing about the way people give you COB, I don't know, VIP, and MAD like that. And we carry those banners with us. And we expect everybody to respect those banners which are being given to us. Because we've done some work, somebody has recognized us, branded it, stamped it. So we believe really this must be something great. So we accept that brand and we want to keep it up. So it's a doubly fixed thing that you are really rewarded for what work you are doing. That's why people start become nuisance also. Supposing in a society some people do not find any significance to their lives, then they will go to Oxford Street, stand there, wear funny dresses, start jumping and singing something nonsensical, and make a nuisance out of themselves. You have seen people who paint their hair in different colors, put pencils in the noses, I think, do all kinds of mad things just to attract the attention of others, because we want to attract the attention of others. Because our ego is not yet satisfied. But this ego is never satisfied. It goes on asking for more food, and you enjoy it too. When such an ego is bloated within us, we cannot understand what we are doing. People can befool you like that. It's very easy to befool a person who's ego oriented than to befool a simple person. A simple hearted man cannot be easily befooled because he's not on a trip, you see. But those who are on an ego trip, you tell them that this is the best way to go to hell, they will be the first booking their seats. There will be a queue for it. People would be asking for it. All right, if it is so, it's good. That is how many gurus in this world have come forward, have befooled you by telling you that you'll get these powers, those powers, that will happen, this will happen. And they know how to pamper your ego. For example, they might say this is a world organization of spirituality, and you are the head of the world organization, and you believe it. Ego means misappropriation. You believe in it because you think that after all, I must be something, and I have done this, I have done that. But actually, what happens physically is then when this balloon spreads on your head all over, the aura of the brain surrounds the heart. Normally. But when there is ego problem, then ego surrounds the heart. And when ego surrounds the heart, the brain is cut off from the heart. So you are a non-integrated person, or we can say disintegrated. Your heart runs one side, your brain runs another side, your body runs third side, your emotions run fourth side. So 4 people running 4 horses. And that's how you are completely torn. I mean, it's impossible to stand on 2 stools, but if there are 4 with 2 legs, it's a big feat to exist. So this kind of ego trip comes in, by which you start behaving and living in this world in a very unnatural way. And if somebody says that, no, not your ego, not that, that's not you. You have to be yourself. Ego is not yourself. Do not be satisfied with this ego. then you don't like it. Because you are much higher than ego, much greater than ego, much more than what you think your ego can do. With ego, what at the most, what can you do? Say. At the most, what can you do with your ego? What people have achieved through ego? Nothing. Whatever they have discovered, even in the sciences, has come from the unknown, from God's own treasures. If God has given you some knowledge of the unknown, you should not feel pampered about it and think that, oh, this is what we have found. No, He graciously gave you this knowledge which has come to you. So just take it with humility. And this ego is very, very dangerous for Kundalini awakening. Now you look at the diagram. Imagine the whole of your head is covered with that yellow stuff. And this blue thing becomes a very small one. So first of all, the desire to seek itself is diminished. You see, you go for seeking as if you are going to a cinema hall. There is no combination of what you are thinking and your heart. You are not seeking from your heart. You are seeking just with your brains. Because you have read 3-4 books, there's a fashion everybody is seeking. Everybody is looking as if they are seeking something. So let us also seek. It is not coming from your heart because you can see that the activity of heart has become practically zero. You do not desire anything. It is what your ego desires, you run after. Anything that doesn't satisfy your ego, you get upset about it. One must go on all the time saying that you are the fastest horse, you are the greatest person.
माता निर्मला सबके दिल में बसी है मेरी 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 माता निर्मला वो सबके दिल में हाँ सबके दिल में हाँ सबके दिल में बसी है मेरी माता निर्मला जहाँ से प्यारी और जहाँ से प्यारी लगे है मेरी माता निर्मला जहाँ से प्यारी लगे है मेरी माता निर्मला की बात सुनाऊं, निर्मल माँ को सामने पाऊं।
जब जब उनकी बात सुनाऊं, निर्मल माँ को सामने पाऊं।
पीर बिन मुद्दा नहीं मिलता,
पीर बिन मुद्दा नहीं मिलता।
खिज्र बिन रास्ता नहीं मिलता। दरो काबा में ढूंढने वालों, दरो काबा में ढूंढने वालों, दरो काबा में ढूंढने वालों।
Now please open your eyes. Bow down to the Shri Mataji. Take the bandhan.
खुदा नहीं मिलता।
जब जब उनकी बात सुनाऊं, निर्मल माँ को सामने पाऊं। जब जब उनकी बात सुनाऊं, निर्मल माँ को सामने पाऊं।
मन ही मन में, मन ही मन में, मन ही मन में मैं मुस्काऊं। देखो कितनी,
ओ देखो कितनी भोली है मेरी माता निर्मला। देखो कितनी भोली है मेरी माता निर्मला।
देखो कितनी भोली है मेरी माता निर्मला।
देखो कितनी भोली है मेरी माता निर्मला।
जा से प्यारी,
ओ जा से प्यारी लगे है मेरी माता निर्मला।